Snipers, you have to see what's happening to the Bitcoin price this Tuesday. As less than an hour ago, we just saw over $100 million worth of long liquidations for Bitcoin coming below 19,000 US dollars at 18,900 as I record this video. We all know right now we just broke the potential higher low formation, and now we have a potential lower low on the table, or even a double bottom to talk about, Snipers. There's a lot to discuss today. Not only that, Bitcoin is on the verge of the lowest daily candle close of the year and the lowest daily candle close since 2020. Yes, we've seen Bitcoin come lower than this, but this is a daily candle close, the lowest since 2020. Check this out, Snipers. The next CPI reading is going nowhere but down. The 30-day simple moving average of oil prices closed around 10% lower at the end of August relative to the end of July, which should prove to be a major drag on August CPI reading. Why is this important? Well, the bulls are saying that when inflation peaked in June, that was the bottom for markets, and that even if Bitcoin does come down, what we have on the table is a potential double bottom, because the S&P 500 is going to be very tough to get below its yearly lows. Let's talk about that, Snipers, with Bitcoin right now. Below this extremely important level here, 18,910, now we have a potential lower low on the table. The major resistance inside of this range is the previous weekly open at 19,555. That is for the short-term traders, the immediate resistance. If we're below 19,555, then the doors open to test 17,204, which is the real major support level. Yes, we saw a yearly low around 17,600, but we dodged the major volume support at 17,204. Remember, we have a CME gap that's unfilled down here as well. And so this is the range that Bitcoin is in: a resistance of 19,555, the previous weekly open, a support of 17,204. Ethereum is holding up strong above its 2018 previous all-time high. Unlike Bitcoin above 1440, that is the major support for Ethereum right now. And we also have confluence there with the previous weekly open. The major resistance is 1760. If we want to invalidate this bearish head and shoulder pattern that's forming for Ethereum, 1760 is where we have to go. The Ethereum to Bitcoin chart showing strength, forming new highs here inside of this push to the upside. 88,000 Satoshis is now the immediate short-term resistance level. Let's watch the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart as the merge is coming up on September 15th. Now, what's happening to the revolving parts, Snipers? Let's talk about that. The S&P 500 right now, you can see why the bears got the green light to bring Bitcoin down, because the S&P 500 slightly broke below this major support level. It is testing it, and it is testing it like it's never tested it before. You can see we've already seen some price action below this major market structural support, indicating that maybe we are going to be seeing this push down. And so Bitcoin bears are front running that move with Bitcoin. With over $100 million of long liquidations, what we want to see for the S&P 500 is getting back 40.24. That's the previous weekly open. If we can get back above that, that is the major resistance. We'll continue to monitor the S&P 500. And why is this all happening? Well, the DXY. Look at this, a domino effect. New yearly highs right now for the DXY. It looks like it's continuing its move to the upside. So what we have to watch for is this market structural resistance at this point. So we'll take the two last points of contact, and you can see there is some potential room still for the DXY to move up before finding some resistance. And so this open space right here is what the bears are taking advantage of right now. But I would say the S&P 500 is still showing strength, because the DXY is forming new yearly highs, but the S&P 500 is not forming new yearly lows. That's still bullish for the S&P 500, right? So CPI numbers come out here on the 15th, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I mentioned the exact date on our last two videos. I think that's going to be a catalyst for more volatility. And if we look at any other revolving parts that matter, Bitcoin dominance did break major support level here. This is a very interesting piece to the puzzle here, because you can see it looks like it's coming down to form some new lows. And if that's the case, who's going to be the beneficiary of that? Well, Ethereum would certainly be. The Ethereum to Bitcoin chart also going to lead other altcoins. And outside of that, I wouldn't say there's much else to talk about. Let's pull up the total market cap. I think it is an important time to look at some other charts because of what's happening. You can see total market cap still has some room to go to the major support at 762 billion, which is the 2018 previous all-time high. So Bitcoin is below its 2018 previous all-time high. So relative to the total Bitcoin is down around here versus the overall market is actually showing strength against Bitcoin right now, which is also why we're seeing Bitcoin dominance start to fall. Bitcoin against money supply, testing the yearly lows. Let's continue to monitor that. Bitcoin against SPY. Let's see what this did to the Bitcoin against SPY chart. Wow. Look at that. It looks like the Bitcoin to SPY chart is what's causing this mess. Look at this. It's trying to come down to form new yearly lows. And so it's going to be an interesting 24 to 48 hours, snipers. Here's what matters for Bitcoin. Let's pull up this more cleaned up chart, Bitcoin USD pairing. At this point, because 18,910, the second higher low, got breached, 17,204 is on the table for potential double bottom. I think that that's the most likely scenario. As long as S&P 500 does not form new lows, I think a double bottom is in place. That doesn't mean we're not going to see further downside later down the road, but what that means is an immediate short term, let's watch out for a potential double bottom before we see maybe even 20,000 come back on the table. And so I think that the CPI data coming out here very soon is going to be a huge catalyst. And then, of course, we have a lot of other things this month, like the Ethereum merge, and then we have the Cardano Vasil hard fork. So a lot of good fundamentals to look forward to. Is this just a front run, a dip before we start to see some upside? Who knows? What we do know for now is that the DXY is pushing up. That's not a good thing for markets. The S&P 500 is testing and breaching a major support level, giving the bears the green light to bring Bitcoin back below 19,798, even breaching 18,910, indicating to us that there is certainly some downside on the table up to 17,204. Are we going to see a double bottom? I'll let you snipers know. For those on the Discord, we'll send out some signals if we get down to that level, depending on how price action looks on the micro timeframes. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, snipers, about what's happening to the Bitcoin price right now. And I appreciate each and every one of you tuned in the channel. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm if you support this content. And I will see you all, snipers, next time. Snipers.